we got the water and the thing on the shop?
No, we're right. Right, hang on. Oh, okay, let's perfect.
Right, okay.
Start again.
Let's go. Anyway, right. Jim, how important are the specialist plant groups within the RHS, and is their expertise used at all?
There are 4 specialist groups within the RHS. The first one was the lily group, then the rhododendron group, closely followed by adding camellias and magnolias, fruit group, and also more latterly the herb group. Collectively, they possess a huge range of expertise and knowledge amongst them. The rhododendron group was linked up with the RHS. And they formed a joint committee to look at rhododendron hybrids back in the 1930s. And this knowledge and expertise has been of great value to the RHS over the years, in particular amongst those particular plant groups.
Yes.
Magnolias, we automatically think of these great Asiatic species with their flamboyance. If you see a tree magnolia in its full glory, there's nothing quite like it in the plant world. There's always thousands of blooms on. And one automatically thinks about these deciduous Asiatic tree magnolias. But what, of course, has happened in the world of magnolia, the classification to begin with, is the fact that magnolias contain a huge number of subtropical and tropical evergreens. And similarly, what's happened is that all the plants that used to be grown as the genus Michelia or the genus Magnetia have all been lumped into Magnolia. And this has been done by Hans Nutenboom and Dick Figler, both at the Magnolia Society International. And that, to me, is a great bonus as far as identification is concerned. Now, where are magnolias being bred today? Initially, in the UK, there's an interesting array of almost self-sown seedlings that were produced. For instance, Magnolia Leonard Messel is probably still regarded as one of the best-selling magnolias, not in the UK, but internationally as well. Yeah. And that was a self-sown seedling that came from Nymond in Sussex in the 1950s, I think it was named. But today, of course, magnolias are very much to do with the international plant circuit. There's a lot of plant breeding going on in North America, and there's a huge amount going on down in New Zealand as well. And I suppose, if you look at North America as an example, people like Phil Savage and August Kerr were leading the way, and now it's Dennis Ledvina, who is doing. Dennis was very much a disciple of Phil Savage. Phil Savage was a great man, and he was very much an amateur plant breeder, but he really did lead the way. He came from Ohio, and also he linked up with Magnolia stellata, and he produced a lot of interesting hybrids. Yes. And his disciple, I suppose, his pupil, Dennis Ledvina, is certainly doing a huge amount. In New Zealand, Felix Jury was the person that was really responsible for introducing Magnolia breeding there. And his son, Mark, is certainly leading the way now. And what's really interesting about Mark Jury is he's linking up the former genus of Michelia in with it. And he's producing these really interesting pink Michelia hybrids. And he's growing them as hedges. And it's a magnificent sight. And so opening up very much smaller plants and linking up with the former Magnolia lentifolia into it, and it's very much a shrubby species from China. And he's using that to produce these very much shorter, stockier hedging species or shrubby species of hybrid magnolias.
And that will appeal so much to the person with a small garden as well, won't it? It will make them more popularly grown.
Absolutely. But magnolias, you find magnolias in flower for about 8 months a year. You can get tree magnolias, you can get shrubby magnolias, and they deserve to have this very much wider attention. And today, there's a lot of people, especially in the UK, who are producing them very economically and great plants that can be grown very, very successfully by the home gardener.
Thank you. Thank you very much.